есть. Привет, Ебло. А мы нашли девушку Классия.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is open in there.
Так а чё, я не бачу на донаты, ну типа, если люди хотят, чтобы я не играл в GTA, то как бы вот, 10 тысяч рублей, я пойду сразу же в СНТ-5, все. Диско Инферно.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the one and only superstar cop. He's kind of a big deal around here. Wow. I very much doubt that. What brings this so-called boring cop
Короче, вот, теперь ее нужно расспросить правильно.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
It's like she's disappointed this wasn't about more entertaining matters.
А с чего мне начать ее допрос? Неплохой номер.
It's pretty deluxe. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh yes, one of my favorites. It cures many ailments, like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. Very funky. I'm wintering.
Винтеринг. Зимует она у нас.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. Came to see the new world. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's here. She isn't overtly hiding it either.
Conference centers. A lot of them. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped.
Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie. Something stupid.
Something stupid.
Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world.
Надо спасти всех.
That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems should not be your priority.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Rani's lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Aranya 37.
It's the world's most tired smile. Miss Aranye, now there is something you should linger on.
It's a beauty pageant, held in the year of our century 37, in Aranya. It's a competition for
Что такое
super
красота?
girls.
Нормально.
Men look at them and choose the most beautiful. When you have the fewest deviations from the norm. I've been told it's a type of mediocrity that I possess. No. I was the most stupid and mediocre. And I got a crown and a sash and a scepter for it. And a scholarship to study Oranese lit. I would offer you coffee, but it's garbage. I'm 28.
То есть кофе говна, но...
Right, sir. A bad memory, officer. Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminum. Fredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. The record. So official.
Угу.
Yeah? Alright.
Так.
Yes. You're just one room away. Very personal.
Good, yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions. Like,
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
Угу. Ясно.
It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Is it? It is afternoon. Time flies, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, right.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Their frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
There must be more to it. You should return to this topic after you've talked about her relationship with the deceased. Maybe.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
Но это сложное.
We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically.
То есть я бухаю, она меня булит, а как бы она бухает, извините, нормально все.
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes,
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate
Oh.
it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Ну, она умная, конечно.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk too. I
А,
was
ну да, пьяная
probably
еще
afraid
была.
the union was listening in.
Пьяные...
Locals say they have ears. in
Пьяные
the
девушки
wires.
так просто придумывают бах, 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 бац, вообще жесть.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay. Let it slide. Pushing won't help here.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
Так,
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got
забастовка,
here.
значит.
Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail.
Охрана, бывший
He was
военный.
ex-military. Worked for Wild Pines. And against the union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods,
Ясно.
Pretty much.
warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't know.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
She takes a long, hard... You hear cracking in her shoulders.
Так,
Like I said,
Like you.
no,
I'm sorry.
I have. Which ones, sir?
She breathes a silvery sigh
там
of
тот же самый
relief
разговор.
and weariness.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Так, сила воли.
Why not?
Сила воли. А, ну у меня, кстати, нормально здесь статов еще есть. Я могу что-нибудь напялить себе на силу воли. И, может, у меня есть что-нибудь на силу воли. Сила воли. Я не уверен, конечно, что вообще такие шмотки есть, но предположу, что что-нибудь такое должно быть. Сила воли, сила воли. Подожди, а в предметах что-нибудь есть? Подожди-ка. Не-не-не-не.
Officer, it's a fuck.
Soft,
О,
light brown eyes look back at you,
получили.
directly into the space behind your eye sockets.
Найс.
You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too. Me? What did I do? I'm merely a master thespian.
Ясно. У меня в голове эти говорят,
These
личности
guys
разные,
are
да.
compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it. Yes, Mr. Thespian here has been singing paeans to how truthful she is. She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too. A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here. There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking
Нормально,
way,
нормально.
man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. How it always does, through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is.
Не,
Things
сила
will go
воли...
No.
отлично.
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate, probably compromised. Don't worry, it's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
Чего? Да так и было, алло.
Not my favorite topic. How about we, you know,
Все так и
Sure.
было. Все так и
go
было.
right.
Ладно.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
you would have caught it. Like hell you would have, remember?
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. So you said to her, what did you mean by it? She seemed forthcoming to me. Unusually so. Being forthcoming with some things is a good way to obscure other things. But I wouldn't call myself compromised. I am not easily swayed by young women. But on the other hand, the best liars are candid. And she was candid.
The lieutenant seems oddly sure he is not compromised. Not psychologically, at least. Is it hubris?
Anyway, we should move.
Anyway, we should move. Да,
The
что
same
здесь?
small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. I don't know.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A dull thump. Somewhere
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not
I
unimportant.
didn't yet.
No, still a mini investigation.
Эксперт противопредметного спецотряда.
it's barred from the inside. Sounds like it's heavy. Must be something valuable inside to go through the...
Окей, грубая сила. Грубая сила. I'm gonna try to kick it out with my strength. Right now. Так, грубая сила. Где же, где же, где же? Так. Грубая сила.
The same small, heavy.
I'm not weeb, I'm not
The same
hobo.
small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Ау.
You kick it, gung-ho style.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
Your foot is ready to explode and the door receives its pain and groveling is much to your liking.
Дверь испытывает боль и унижение.
Suck on that, door.
Так, окей. Грубая сила. О, я не могу! I can't! Я не могу! Это нечестно! Подожди. А если я сделаю так? Я не могу! Я не могу апнуть! У меня все здесь апнуто. Что за бред? Whatever.
The same small, heavy door. No
Пусти
lock
меня,
in
дверь.
sight.
Меня не пускает дверь. Это нечестно.
The same small, heavy
О,
door.
камон!
In sight.
58%. 58%.
You
58% chance of success. I can't. О, wait a second. Грубая сила. А что если мы будем использовать монтировку?
the same small, heavy.
Нет. А если саблю?
The same small, heavy door. No lock
О!
in sight. Something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound,
Nice.
filling you with a belief in your own body.
Sounds like the property damage wasn't in vain, at least.
Так, что внутри? У.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and
А,
dirty
получается, это
linens.
вторая дверь.
Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist. You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there.
Так, что у нас тут есть? Что это?
You clearly see footprints in the down
Отпечатки
carpet
подошв
of
в
dust
пыли.
covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know,
This is
I don't
good.
know.
He likes it. That's a little smile there.
the Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
I'm not exposing Kim. Kim's cool, I guess. Плащ пинбольщика. Эмпатия, координация. Окей. Пинбол. Запасные детали. Тут пинбола нигде нет. Okay, what's this? Ooh, interesting. Пинбол белая Деора. За окном угловой
Over there,
комнаты.
in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This
I
is
have
the
no idea
pinnacle
what
of
I'm talking
pinball.
about.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it. Lit. A phrase almost synonymous with the Insulindian pinball scene. Any pinball scene, really.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and
Раз, два, три. Раз, два, три. F5. 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 F5.
the peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them, and areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill. A column reads,
Corpus Mundi.
inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak.
Мне
Corpus
нужно
Mundi.
на
The
координаты
Mesk
чем
legend holds that when the
нажать.
nation is in danger,
Покажу
heroic
класс
Gordy
Daisy.
shall return and save his people. Indeed, think of them as balls.
Ща. Пинбольщиком. Эмпатия. Координация. Координация. Же скилл ПМХ заснайпил награду. Молодец. Жесткий, жесткий, жесткий. Привет, привет. Так, скорость реакции возьмем обязательно. Все, ребят, тут саджуса
Over there,
начинается.
Not just lit, a phrase. Cornelius
Сейчас
kept the
буду-
game on, think
Сейчас буду
boy.
показывать скилл.
Those flippers are ready. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play. Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If the kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids, other people's kids too, sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. The words "Pale Rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death. You're in a perfectly balanced system where neither you nor the pal is able to get the upper hand. This could
Разбираешься в играх с мечом.
How, if you can't even see it? The last goat
Ну, я
plummets
постарался.
into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy.
Так, что, типа, еще раз?
The machine is dead and...
А, ясно. Я поломал все на свете, окей.
You see a heavy...
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling.
Угу. Окей, тут подвал есть какой-то. Подожди, почему я не могу в подвал попасть? Ким, с тобой все нормально? А, потому что эта дверь туда находится.
You see...
There must be a key somewhere.
А, я понял.
The
Дверь
small
наверх.
elevator is dimly lit by smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. This elevator must have been used to transport pinball machines to and from the upstairs workshop.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
Unexposed, what do you mean?
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long, long time ago. So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel? There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice maker
No,
said. This
блин.
has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and God ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform.
Он наложил
counter
контр...
spells.
А он не знает
At some
контрзаклятий.
point,
Бред.
I was just thinking. Yeah? I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Huh. This isn't good.
She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun. A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall?
yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there?
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know.
She does. She must have some idea.
I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Honestly,
Yet, maybe it's something she's keeping for a later. She's lost in thought.
All right.
Хорошо, с этим разобрались. Погнали вниз. Поболтаем с этими парнями еще раз. Вот тут танцы, цвета, музыка. Так. Поехали.
The clouds are still hanging around. What is it now? Again? Yeah. Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore.
Эксплицитные
Nor did he
оценки
say anything
жертвы.
about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down. And she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Так а почему они такие грубые?
Play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Your room had one, or maybe it's too broken.
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass.
Bear.
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important.
Привет, Беркин Дезайр. Добрый вечер.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You know why.
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner.
You don't care about evidence.
The pigs, T. They don't get up.
I won't be on your...
There's a lot.
Don't forget your
Okay.
tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Yeah, you do.
Так, окей, значит, послушать запись нужно будет. Ладно, ладно. Хорошо.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Булка.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Привет, жандарм, пока, жандарм. Но мне как бы 6 очков навыков, я думаю, мне их нужно куда-нибудь скинуть. Чё у меня по этим приколам? Я не знаю, я думаю, что это никаких гарантий, но, ну, такое. Ну, то есть, да, я больше роллов лутаю, но и больше, но и меньше роллов лутаю. Южное шоссе. Джемрокская охота. Гомосексуальное подполье. Колдомадаква. Колдомадаква. Ладно. Короче, ладно, раз уж так хотите, я сейчас возьму... Да не нужен мне ваш Гийом де Бильон. Поехали. Я сейчас все узнаю про это ваше подполье, будете тут у меня балдеть.
Again? I can't believe... Okay. Not...
It's a mere second.
I'm going... God...
No, no, okay.
Так, гард.
Wow. That really sucked.
It's safe to say this is about your karaoke performance.
I get it. You were purposefully shit. So original. I'm not letting anyone up there again. Ever. Now...
Ясно.
Hello, dear. It's good to see you. Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is wary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Yes, I did.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different?
Не знаю.
How?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then. It's, a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. But it has, hasn't it? A seed can only bear what's inside. The seed of love is black and oily. It has a taste you're quite familiar with.
You might be right, Detective. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I came in on our first date. Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama.
I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
A true believer.
Nah.
Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it, how it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A dream. A lie. Like that. She drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside the cold.
We should go.
Okay. So... Мне нужно найти где-то что-то место, где я могу что-то проиграть. А есть в магазине вот в этом что-то, что можно было бы сделать? Привет.
Hello again, esteemed officer. Okay, but please.
The woman looks...
Goodness, you...
She smiles.
Окей, у тебя ничего нет. А у тебя чего?
Hi, Ace Detective.
Ясно. Так.
The porter reel is just what you needed. You push, command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachon. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel.
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Yes, it was just locker room talk.
There's more going on here than we know.
End of recording. I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict.
Okay. Ну, я надеюсь, что у них тут что-то покачественнее есть, конечно, не то, что вот у меня вот всякая херня. Ну окей, сейчас посмотрим, поговорим с ней наверху. Вот, там посмотрим, может есть что интересное. А, подожди, аж надо...
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling.
Привет. Да, я ключ
I was just
проебал.
thinking, what a
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Keyless.
This does not surprise her.
Maidenless.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Kohoi, he wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
She's quite observant about the human character, trained to observe, even.
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor,
броня.
which he wore in bed and in the shower.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality. We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee.
Like for his...
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Oh, that. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, What was this, baby? And he says, that was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that.
Too
So she
hardcore.
goes, okay,
Hardcore.
but what's this,
Hardcore.
baby? And he's like, saw some bad shit there. Killed some loincloths. And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps? A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Ну ладно, ладно.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol, no love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. No, there's nothing on Moindi. The old world is dead and we both knew it. Come to think of it, maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though.
And,
I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The adversary one.
Yes. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Нельзя.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
Cool.
Cool.
It very well could be. What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? That's not funny, officer.
All right.
Okay.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate the best answer. Look who's finally awake.
I don't know. 1 million years old? 21? 17? How old are superstar police officers usually?
You're not.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Yes, but for him that number is higher than 45.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium.
Генератор даты рождения. Так, не, ну генератор даты рождения это очень важно. Это мы подумаем сейчас. Так. Ну как бы я уже просто занят изучением другой вещи. Вот. А, подожди, сейчас же вечер. Давайте окно поболтаем.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there.
Huh?
I don't know about that.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn. The key is brass, workshop spare.
Come on, man.
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
It's for the blue door in the kitchen.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys. No idea.
Never even seen it.
Never ever seen it. Ну ладно.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
Так, что у нас тут есть?
Dan. That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
No shit, it was bad. The fuck did she say then? It's all fuck-a-doodle fine. This is what people are supposed to talk like?
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Klasia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this? Long?
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head. Yeah. You're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Не выйду, Settlers.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
With an overdose, you can at least try to come off it. Take a bath, do breathing exercises, get medical attention as necessary. With an underdose, you're just you. Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober. Yeah, maybe. That is a possibility. I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her, Titus said, "Fuck on!"
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand?
Это какой-то bad-ending.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Риторика. Риторика. Давайте посмотрим, if I have something for the rhetorics. Риторика +1. Почему первый чек был настолько сложным, а второй чек настолько простым? На первом чеке там буквально 3% было, а на втором, блин, все 70%. Риторика. Это логика, концептуализация. Окей.
It's you again. What is it?
Окей.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Fat Angus, the powerful guy. Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
Huh?
He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Не понравились местные.
Goddamn right. Don't come around if you're not from around.
Fuck you. I'm not from around. That's not why we...
There we go. Don't come to the Wild North if you are not white enough.
It wasn't that. It wasn't...
Yeah.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere.
То есть они невиновные.
Someone's past caught up with them.
Они невиновны все, они просто клоуны.
Hers, you mean?
She's got one of those checkered pasts. The shot could have missed. Could have been meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown.
Ты бухаешь из дня в день здесь, в одном и том же месте,
He's
клоун.
calmed now, threw all that turmoil away, and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Me too.
Всего лишь, как бы, вот, абьюз вот этого мужичка, вот. Ребята, все. Friendship ended with Kim, now Ted Hardy is my best friend.
In a manner of speaking, we had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it, for political reasons. It sent a good message. No, you're not gonna be on a first-name basis with this person. You're not getting to her. This person is affiliated with the Hardy Boys. It's Clausia you want to talk to.
Ah, here we go. Jigsaw pieces falling into place.
I wouldn't go that far. She's just a woman who's sometimes in our company, who sympathizes with Clausia. Let's leave it at that.
You know, actually, some of the guys have been talking, and,
No! My answer is no, Glenn. We're Hardy Boys, and that's how it's gonna stay.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth. He tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this.
Ну, одна это
They'll
Классия,
probably
а
say
вторая
more
это кто?
about her later.
Так, оно началось, оно еще не началось, окей.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Clausia came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual.
Whatever.
Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking... dirt.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardy.
Uh-huh.
Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where they're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go...
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags.
She, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But, that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some...
We'll take that into account.
Ну, чисто ребята типа невиновные, и все вот с этим связано.
You see, the key...
Окей. А могу взять?
Jack, 3 weeks.
This is...
The blue door was a make...
Окей, здесь ничего не сделать, it's fine. Hello.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate. To being here with
Кажется,
you.
Влада обхорошел. Да не особо, Альтервей.
I understand. I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired.
Тростиночкой.
A twig trying so hard not to break.
Так, что это за пинг?
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only
I'm
trying
listening to
help
everyone.
me out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glance it over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, wine dark in the evening light. The Pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business. but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked. People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oronese lit. Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
Вот в чем беда.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
Это игра про расследование трупа, который висел на дереве. Мы несколько дней разбирались, что с этим трупом делать, и тут оказывается, что чуваки, которые повесили этот труп на дерево, похоже, что невиновные. И мы сейчас пытаемся разобраться, что вообще происходит.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes
Да,
off.
мы детективы. Вот я слева, а вот справа это наш друг второй.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud.
Мне нравится эта куна.
So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? She did, of course.
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol. Or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewes County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewes conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too.
Не знаю, в этой игре великолепная озвучка.
And their friends in the MI.
Как бы...
Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
One of them killed themselves because of me.
She says it quickly, like she said it 100 times. To herself, to get used to the idea, out of guilt.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it? There you have it. The way of the warrior.
Ну, видишь... Я говорил и рассказывал, короче, систему. Смотри, типа, фишка в том, что ты, условно говоря, играешь во что-то, где нужно много чего делать сначала. Потом, условно говоря, делаешь что-то другое. Так, секундочку. Так. Перемещение пролага надо. Так, все. Короче, вот, поэтому, условно говоря, для того, чтобы наслаждаться Elysium'ом, знаешь, то есть тебе нужно сначала где-то либо устать, либо что-то еще сделать. То есть вот ты устал, и ты потом идешь читаешь. И вот тогда эта игра вообще, как конфетка заходит.
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
Ну, опять же, туда-сюда.
Nothing.
Вот он говорит, я насосался в Vice City сегодня, прям, вау, прям невероятно. И как бы вот в ближайшие, не знаю, часа 4, наверное, я бы думал о том, что вот я буду, короче, херово там в Vice City потом играть. Но вместо этого я не думаю об этом, вместо этого вот я читаю книжку интерактивную и кайфую с того, что, блин, игра-то действительно хорошая. Ну, то есть я вообще не думаю даже про GTA. Именно поэтому, опять же, на резонансе вот эти вот, возможно, несочетаемых вещей, оно заходит нормально.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection. As far as you can.
Потому что ей некуда бежать, наверное.
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets. That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
If they want to kill me, they'll kill me. If they want to toy with me, they will. She's come to this conclusion weeks ago.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that
Ну, у
I
меня
was
тут есть
really good
стимовская
at.
Vice City.
Got picked up by
Я
a
на нее
bank.
накатил японскую,
Competitive
скажем так,
intelligence, they
версию.
called it.
Обновил, точнее, до японской версии.
After that, I sort of
И
transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
после этого, как бы, я понял, что если я буду ее рестартить, то это будет очень долго. Как бы, как с Принцем Персии было когда-то, когда я спидранил Принца Персии давно. Ну, относительно давно, окей. И... Короче, да, я бегаю в Vice City теперь вне Стима, и она нормально запускается у меня, и нормально рестартится. Ну, просто ты видел, насколько часто я ее перезапускаю. Я могу просто еще касаемо пары игр так, ну, показать, рассказать, но чуть попозже. Там, дай 2 минуты, я сейчас дочитаю этот диалог, я расскажу немножечко больше этого.
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were
Ruby?
having such a good time.
Кто такая Руби?
I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Well, Ruby said
Okay.
let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, but I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
About half an hour had passed?
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
You have it in you to be a champion. Keep your head in the game now.
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armor too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I
yes.
did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs.
It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Clausia.
What? Why would I put myself? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun. Somewhere, lying around. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out.
When they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Ravishol people would be more enlightened on this. I'm sorry, officer. No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. I did not kill him to
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Like what?
Окей. И последний.
When he was shot? Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your... She nods. He's thinking. Or should we arrest her? No, that won't be necessary. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone.
Поехали.
She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes. Start at the top. Choose at the bottom. See?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. She slowly lights another cigarette. You are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished.
What? I did. There was a...
That is the emergencies desk number.
I must.
Anyone.
What time?
Thursday night.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call too. I know
Wait,
I have
what?
not been 100%
Блять,
truthful
что?
with you, officers. But I am now.
Wait, did I just kill her?
But I haven't done it.
Failure to... Fuck, that's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs. But there's nowhere to go.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Gearing up for this betrayal.
Ruby.
Чё?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up, like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? the lynching. Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
You said there was a secret route there, right? She could have come up through there, then taken this shot right here, where...
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists?
Yes. She's been up here many times. She used to come to drink on the roof when,
The peephole.
The peephole. My bed is right next to... She would have seen us.
You mean to suggest she made it?
No. No. Why would she do that to herself? No, I just remembered you told me about it, and...
She's not really sure. It was right above the bed. She could have seen all sorts of things from there. Don't let your imagination run wild here, sire.
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her. Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
I think authority
She's
is good.
stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Thank you.
Пусть
Thank you.
живет.
You won't regret it.
Something tells you, you will.
Dude, what? I'm not going to arrest her.
She slowly. As you look back, you think...
Let her be.
So love did do him in. If it weren't for her, he would not have been there.
Okay.
This window is pristine on the...
Так, визуальный анализ. I have way too much shit. Продажный... Я не продажный. Меня попросила моя сила воли. Визуальная шнопка. Визуальная шнопка.
This window is pristine on the
Are we
inside.
gullible?
Golden light
Maybe.
melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the
Привет,
single
СВ.
bed.
Да меня GTA выебало.
A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the
Это точно была винтовка.
Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire property. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window.
Но меня сегодня просили сделать No Reset Run, а он оказался катастрофой.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests. It would be the diligent thing to do.
Окей, поехали искать точку выстрела вместе. Вот я думаю, что мы сейчас найдем точку выстрела. Скорее всего, она не будет... Скорее всего, она не будет непосредственно здесь неподалеку. И от этого можно даже будет... Летает все, зараза. А, подождите, а у меня есть Quick Travel? Quick Travel! Let's go! Так. Гомосексуальное подполье. Поехали. Ну, у меня нормально, кстати, накачано так-то, знаете ли. Так, собственно, край земли нам нужен. Край земли находится наверху. Вот. И там еще островки какие-то упоминались. Так, в смысле, плюс час. Ну там реально ужасно было. Там такие раны нельзя бегать. Не, точнее, как бы можно, но не нужно.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere.
This is a common никакого плакать.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. It's not possible to climb...
There. It's glowing in the dark night. Such a good girl, you think.
Тиумутири. Жесть.
just dead, poor
Так, у меня есть задача там с этими скриптидами что-то сделать. А чё у меня так мало квестов осталось? Я чё, к концу игры уже подошел? Не знаю, я еще думаю на эту тему. Мне после GTA нужно будет перерыв от спидрана вообще взять. Как минимум на месяц. Ну, может, на 1,5, на 2. Я в декабре в ДМЦ возвращаюсь. Но близко, окей. Вот. После ДМЦ я не знаю, насколько я там что и как. И там минимум месяц нужно будет сидеть, потому что это ДМЦ, а не какая-то хуйня. Минимум 2 недели на месяц. Я на дачу свалил. Это, конечно, можно было сказать, что, мол, это перерыв от спидранов и так далее. Но не совсем. Я занимался записью футажа для видоса. Вот. С пирса, с острова. Вот. Поэтому, ну, тут такое. Поэтому именно нужно сознательно либо взять КДН на какое-то время, ну, либо просто, знаешь, что-то другое поделать. Нужно отдыхать немножечко, самую малость, чтобы было нормально. Так, по идее, это ведь пирс.
You're back. Good. What can I help you? I fear I've... Is there anything else I can...
Ну, не то, что прям дедлайна, но я смотрю на это как на очень такой, скажем так, важный дедлайн. Да.
Hello again.
Почему я здесь ничего не вижу? Это же пирс, по идее. Пирс. Не понимаю я этого, ладно. Ну, вообще, там 2 видосика. Вот есть один видос, который я бы хотел до конца этого месяца сделать, чтобы его там, типа, 1 сентября доделать, было бы очень неплохо. А, окей, значит, это... Окей, да, я понял. Ну, дело даже не в аудитории, а в том, что... Сейчас.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I... Yes.
The lieutenant leans in.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth unknown. He was signed into the Landstad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 2009.
Второй видос не про
He was found as a
ДМЦ-4.
newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict.
В ДМЦ-4 нашли Святой Грааль. В ДМЦ-4 в декабре возвращаются все топовые раннеры. И еще люди будут, скорее всего, которые будут бегать ДМЦ-4. Я не трогал игру 3 года. Именно, ну, нормально не трогал. Я хочу попробовать поиграть в 4 не ради там коммуны или прочего кала, а для себя в удовольствие. Может прокнет, может я как-то, не знаю, опять загорюсь, там что-то поделаю и так далее. Если не загорюсь, я спокойно дропну и закрою эту хуйню.
Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Elise.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had.
It is. Thank you.
None, officer.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity.
I'm glad the inquiry...
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Короче, вот, как-то так. Да, мы договорились в декабре побегать. Вот без всяких этих шизы идей, типа Воблин, сообщество мертво, там и так далее и тому подобное. А знаешь, что просто взять побегать, потому что, ну, блять, охуенный скип. Там реально красивый скип был найден, который сейвит, ну, 2 минуты. Так, ладно, ну, так по факту отдохнуть-то нужно. GTA сложно ран, это сложно ран. Все очень сложно, короче. Не. Там не просто скип, там целое скипище нашли. Я не понимаю, я... Что делаю? А, может в этой в хибаре сидит? Сидел, там же вход в хибар вот это был. Снизу которая. Может там. Вот она, вот здесь. Там где труп мужика. Опа, ты кто? Ты из соседнего дома, что ли? Не, подожди, труп мужика. А, ага, спасибо, я понял, ага. Ты уже учишься? Я не трогал. Мы договорились, что в игру никто не играет, но по большей части пока не придет декабрь. Ну, именно не трогает категорию, ничего не делать, не дерастить, ничего. Как бы я свое слово держу, я ничего не трогаю. Не, никакого оффлайн.
An empty cigarette package.
Не. Так, и где здесь? Не, я не захожу в 4. Нет. А как где? Так, подожди, а где? С пирса с острова. Что за херня? Может, здесь где-то?
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
No. I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I...
Не, никакого врубания в оффлайне и так далее. О, деньги. Назафед. О, Назафед. Через заброшенное здание. Так я заходил туда и там ничего не было. Ну сейчас побегаю, посмотрю, может что-нибудь найду. Деньги. Не, ну как бы сегмент, в котором просто нужно очень много бегать здесь. Есть просто два условия, при которых я включу четверку. Первое условие это, извините, если мне... Очень настоятельно попросят на русскофоне пробежать четверку. Но бегать как бы я не собираюсь. Поэтому, скорее всего, если ну, на русскофоне там будет сбор на DMC4, ну типа парни, ну, блядь, Bloody Palace, все, не больше. Мейн игру я трогать не буду. Да и дерасить типа четверку я не буду, ну, блядь, по очевидным причинам. Скорее всего, там будет сбор типа на МГР, либо на GTA. Поэтому тут такое. Вспомнить побегать. Ну, сейчас разберемся. Побегаем. Я не знаю, какая у меня цель четверка, и мне бы хотелось поставить, ну, с новым скипом, ран, что-то наподобие 52 минут. Какой еще сбор? Ну, смотри, я сейчас вот так даже сделаю, смотри. В общем, будет марафон русскофон. Русскофон, знаешь. Вот, там много-много каких ранчиков будет. Вот ссылочка. Если обратишь внимание, там последний ран, это ран, который делаю я, но там как бы четкого рана нет. Ну причем вот вообще нет. А, вон там, наверное, я помню. Вот. Ну, в общем, идея такая, что, мол, за донаты, условно говоря, там будет какой-нибудь бидвар. И вот там между трех ранов, типа между Bloody Palace и DMC4, там еще каким-то двумя ранами, типа GTA и МГР. Типа люди будут донатить, в зависимости от того, насколько там люди что хотят увидеть, вот то и люди увидят. Потому что в один, по словам организаторов, нам нужно будет уходить, ну типа закрывается все чудо. Вот. Поэтому вот. Пирс. Пирс и островок. Даже нет. Там на час. Ну, час ран. Пирс же здесь должен быть. Так а где он, твою мать? То есть меня просили, типа, Мека, что ты можешь на час забегать? Сказал, ну, короче, вот 2 игры есть. Вот, ну, типа, с третьей проблемы. Вот, я сказал, что они еще бегают DMC4, ну и, типа, другие квесты. Не-не-не, мы сейчас разберемся с тем, где эта херня находится. Любую игру. Так это будет казуальное прохождение, зачем это? Сейчас играть в казуальное прохождение какой-то херни. Не-не-не, спасибо. Это фигня будет. Я пробовал там пару ломать, типа, какой-нибудь крут сквад подать и так далее. Но нет. Ты их не ранишь уже. Ну ничего, что я все еще в состоянии выбить 55 ран. Без подготовки. Типа слабый аргумент.
An old door.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how.
В четверке? Ну, в четверке нет. Так, блин, я четверку не планирую, блин, извините, бегать как псих, я не знаю, со скипидаром. МГР я нормально пробегу. Я в этом более чем уверен. Четверка, ну опять же, четверка, скорее всего, там будет Bloody Palace. Bloody Palace четверки, вот там что-то там час с небольшим ран. Он не особо оптимизирован. Люди, я думаю, по хайпу, то что Bloody Palace и так далее. Идет до этого. Подожди, красуга. Ладно, ладно. Заглянем в церковь. Поболтаю вот с этим мужиком.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Dedicated. Test your limits. Surpass them. Dance till you drop.
Я бы с радостью, но...
This is for your posse. They got to keep it up.
У меня будет очень ограниченное количество времени.
You are the major might enforcer. Jumping around, as this sort of music requires, is actually a taxing physical activity and should be dignified with a sports suit. You might as well make it complete with a whistle then.
The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus. Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being...
Типа ты не можешь настроить так, чтобы не спамили говно. Заспамят 50 болецов, я умру от жизни, 50 чего угодно, умрешь от жизни.
I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it. I don't know.
Ну так опять же, это же не мое решение. Как бы люди вон будут деньги кидать туда.
It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by.
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out, the struggling villages, and that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around.
GTA.
I don't know, maybe, no. It's pretty anodic music, and if it can't, maybe you can figure things out. It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into a cop who's into building critique, hard of core. Total.
Так хуйню пишешь на вармовушку.
Like to show off large and intricate structures, arches, stands to read.
Year after slowly peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sense.
That's right. Alone, I would want to be maybe. I regret why. I saw some. End of quote.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is. You know what this kind of stuff goes well with.
Ты хуйня написал.
Forget it. It would become...
I don't. Fuck a you defend mass murder on the floor. Humanism.
And many.
А так нормально побегал. Тебе бы понравилось.
Legacy, a thing weird. Then you meet it. It's effective like in the.
Oh my living God.
The world this are no van.
What a whatever. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep saying that if it is?
I did anyway. Dude's seen some crazy shit. Have you been the man? Good thing you didn't.
Так, этот чел мне ничего нового не сказал. Ладно. Quick travel есть. Гони мне quick travel. А, они же все отсюда исчезли. А что мне еще есть? С Гартом. Блин, я проголодался.
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those.
What wall?
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know.
What a shame. To fix such a good peephole.
Absolutely not. That would be idiotic.
In your defense, neither do I.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Oh, okay, well...
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know.
Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
No, but we could die. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in it.
Yeah, he should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
What? Why would you say that?
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling. Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? For 14 years, man. That...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before.
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way. Especially for this neighborhood. Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? What about them? One is...
He's hesitating.
The other is a kebab cart.
You have fresh meat. We have some fresh meat.
It's nothing like the Whirling.
Mr. Ancient Reptilian Brain. I am the freshest meat.
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me
already
about my
broke me
establishment,
and my
can
back.
we, you know, wrap it up? Yes.
Мы не будем говорить о том, что она что-то поломала. Alright. I have way too... I am way too skilled for this game. It's bleeding into reality. This game is a reality. We are learning how to research stuff. We are trying to find what the reality means. Блять, коммунист, фашист. Ой, блять. Alright, it's time to read.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dar. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. So it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? Fuck it. Do it. It can't be worse than what you've already felt. They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Guardian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit. As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret. Good stuff. I fucking loved this.
Alright.
Large letters on the front form a title, Wirral. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas. The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller, some with pointy ears, others with ephemeral wings. Text underneath the title in smaller typeface reads, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel adds, a sword and sorcery adventure board game with new maps and miniatures. Mysterious things rattle inside.
Нормально.
What could they be? Dice? Plastic miniatures? A fantastical alternate world full of magic and wonder? None of that witless man from Heimdall, fascist dross, hidden behind faux realistic allegory. Wirral is no cliché-ridden apologia for colonial violence. Wirral is pure imagination. Yes, the Wirral setting is known for its complicated system of political alignments. But if you're not into that, you can just hack your way through dungeons in search of loot. A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life? Escape to Wirral. Leave behind Isolas and nations with their petty squabbles. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wirral. Can your band of adventurers save the world?
Yes, моя команда всегда готова.
Exactly. That's the spirit. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest. Don't forget heated arguments escalate into physical confrontation with your friends. And beer. Lots of beer. And most importantly, never forget to rage quit if the dice don't go your way. You pry open the box. Inside you find a folded up map, a small booklet, a 24-sided die, and a little plastic figurine.
24 грани.
A reprint of a crude hand-drawn map. The top left corner reads, Lands of Wirral. The map features both small villages and mid-sized towns with odd names, in addition to meadows, forests, hills, lakes and seas, also with odd names. It doesn't seem to correspond with anything you've seen thus far. It's not a very helpful map. A quick guide to the magical races of Wirral. Create your own hero, choosing from any of these completely unique and fantastical backgrounds. The options are in order of importance. The Welkin, the Tweog, the humans, the fairy folk, and the pygmies. The Welkin, tall, lithe, and graceful, with long flowing hair and pointy ears. They're known for being powerful magic users. but can also hold their own in a brawn-driven fight. The Welkin come with a variety of exciting sub-races. High Welkin, Forest Welkin,
ясно. Вот что делают ДНДшеры.
and Snow Welkin. But if you're not feeling experimental, a basic Welkin will always do. A grand race of industrious mountain people. They're short, stout, and muscular, and enjoy digging for gold and other precious minerals. They're also well versed in the art of combat, where they prefer to use axes and hammers. The Tueog also come in a few different sub-races. Hill Tueog, Shield Tueog, and Dark Tueog. They're just humans. What else is there to tell? They're average in all stats, and jacks of all trades. A very small race of flying people, known for being mischievous, full of trickery. They often lure people into their magical traps. There are no sub-races for the fairies. The least popular of the Wirral races, the Pygmies, are short, rotund, and dim-witted. Pygmies live in small villages made of shoddy wooden dwellings. They spend most of their days tilling the earth and smoking their pipes. There are no sub-races for the Pygmies. It's made from some sort of wood and has been decorated with peculiar plant motifs. You don't know much about dice, but this one looks pretty damn fancy. You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side. You see a man in ragged clothes wearing a lopsided hat and wielding some sort of a firearm.
Huh, interesting. A communard. A communard. One of the leftist revolutionaries in the anti-centennial revolution. The figurine is not a part of the real game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process. I have a feeling the figurines are more there to set the scene than anything else.
You pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it. A colorful box with the title.
Так, хорошо.
In your
Сюзеренитет.
hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work. The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the economic relationship between the Revacholian suzerainty and its many vassals. The box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their weight shifting back and forth. What treasures wait in store for you? Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance. There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components. Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel. The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points. That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners. Remember, there are many paths to victory in Suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly. Boring, boring, Boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old-school atrocities. Suzerainty is a family game. The only
Семейная
atrocities
игра,
you'll be
да-да-да.
committing are against the social standing of your rival administrators, as you bring in ever more resources and power for the suzerain. Speaking of, the actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now. The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Dude. Dude. You are going to play this game. Ты со мной сейчас поиграешь в эту игру. Внушение. Где ты? Твою налево. Ща найду. У меня еще нет на внушение, я понял. А, нет, есть. Ну, как бы все, мужик. This man.
The suzerainty box is heavy and slight. What is detective
Easy.
work if not an elaborate game?
Easy.
You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between. In the center is the crown of Revachon. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the...
Alright, detective, your turn.
You have a few options available to you.
Серьезно? Игра внутри игры?
Contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns. Remember what the rulebook said. You will want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it. What is the very beginning of the game? Your workers haven't even done any work yet. There's no concept of rest in suzerainty. Workers have to work. You produce a handful of archaeological treasures and a smattering of other resources. Meanwhile, the lieutenant spends 2 of his sugar and 1 of his apricot tokens to complete his contract card.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin. Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. Those aren't your only options. You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them. Well, sure, you can. To the lieutenant's puzzlement, you spend several turns building various improvements to your territorial infrastructure. Soon, your workers have access to clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies. In return, they produce 1 extra resource per turn.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points. Take a look at the scoring tables in the back. You see in table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5. Yes, precisely.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre territory. For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Saramaritsa, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens. You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points. Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together like cocaine and rock music. You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholian suzerainty faced in Safre. Well, the suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing, and it settled on Safre. By introducing cocaine into Safre under exclusive contract, the suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product. If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens. Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules. You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression? With each passing turn, you slowly bleed the lieutenant of coins as his own workers become less productive and more dependent on your magenta cocaine. As a matter of historical fact, this is almost exactly what happened in Safre. To this day, fully half of the former Safre Empire remains dependent on international aid in exchange for a steady supply of cheap produce.
More or less.
Realizing victory is slipping away, the lieutenant launches a desperate gambit: protectionism. By erecting tariffs on your cocaine, he hopes to starve you out of the market. The end game is upon you. Do you escalate the trade war with the lieutenant in hopes of crushing him with your economic might? Or do you ignore his aggression and focus on building the mighty victory column structure in Revachol herself? Alternatively, you could throw the whole game away by trying to build a public education system for the children of your workers. The choice is yours. Building the ultimate structure requires diligent economic. Rather than build a glorious monument to Revachol's economic superiority, you have to settle for a handful of post offices and school for the blind.
A risky gambit, detective. Sorry it didn't pay off. That might have helped, yes. Now,
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, 15 victory points, the suzerain will not be impressed.
I've got 26 points. Don't be glum, detective. There's always next time. Now, let's clean.
You hold the open game box before you. You open up a number of pouches containing each.
What? You're not going to.
In addition, from the.
Oh.
You hold the. In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. The brittle paperback.
Опа! Оно пошло. Вон, реально же пошло. Найс. Блин. Ладно. Положу эту книжку обратно. Вот. А чё 4-й день ушел дальше 2 часов? Так. Короче, да. Надо отойти. Надо поспать. Надо покушать. Ладно, серьезно, мне реально нужно покушать. Вот.